Hi, my name is Shawn Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter, who I always feel like it's like 10 seconds of sort of silent purgatory for him while he just blindly waits on me to start talking. But I mean, it's consistent. It's always roughly 10 seconds. Hopefully it's not too bad. Chris, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great after a good victory last week, or 10 minutes ago. A
Tainted victory
clear,
that I will not
a clear
acknowledge.
victory.
Mm,
Was not tainted
tainted.
at all.
Chris, did you have
Check out
your
that.
work verified by an independent source? Tainted.
Didn't
Tainted?
need to.
I do.
I know how to make formulas in Excel or randomize things.
The odds suggest that you don't, sir. The odds suggest that you don't.
It's the odds don't change. If I roll a dice and I roll a one, I got the same chance of rolling a one the next time around.
Right, but
It
the odds of those occurring in back-to-back things is a definitively different set of odds, Christopher. Definitively different. So, did we ever talk about the Monty Hall problem on this show? You're like the I don't know why, but I
pick
love
a
the
door and then switch.
right how you always switch because the odds are all concentrated once you switch after they take away one.
We talked about it a lot.
That's a great. I think that's something that like not young people like high school like every high school math class probably presumably algebra I guess should have to learn that concept because it's such an interesting thing about how odds
It's
don't
funny
change.
they went over it at Burley 99, which I just binged the whole way
Oh, I
through.
got to get back into that.
From That's so great, such a good
Uh,
show.
I'll probably. I
The
don't want to
whole
ruin your
oh
progress when I log into yours. So maybe I feel like
oh
I
I'm
need to wait on you to finish.
I'm done. I finished. I
Are you
did it.
done? Okay, well, good. Then I feel better about it.
The whole went to Amy. It's a subtle argument between him and Kevin, and it was the Montiel problem. And then she was like, sir, I'm really sorry, but you're wrong. You need to switch." He's like, "You're fired."
That's a solid captain impression you got going on there, man. That's fantastic. Nah,
Uh,
everybody teach your kids about the Monty Hall problem. At first, it'll blow their mind, but after that, they'll just be like, oh, I kind of understand statistical probability slightly better than I did 5 minutes ago. Uh, but listen, uh, different set of statistics this week, less to do with probabilities and more to just do with some good old fashioned retail merchandise analysis from Chris Ford and also Amazon boxes. Chris, what you got there, buddy? You're muted? It
I was first muted. I just had to cough up something,
see when you
put it
purposely
in a
muted and then you
box.
pull up a box like, are you about to throw up in a box on camera?
All
I was so worried. I was like, listen, does
right,
he know
let's
he
keep
got
it
the
going.
does he know he got the camera on? Like, I don't know. It's the Michael Jordan flu game of podcast recording right
Yeah.
here. That's what it is. First there's the flu vaccine recording of
The
2021
flu,
and now there's this.
the flu shot game
The flu
in
shot
there.
game. Ah, great references. Um, Chris, I'm not really a too. What am I trying to say? I'm not opposed to the peek behind the curtain. Right, this is our second episode, so I assume you haven't been doing a whole lot of new stuff in betwixt now and the last time we spoke. Um, but I no, I did have something to contribute here. What was it? Oh, I saw earlier. There's like I'm gonna call it like a spiritual homage to a game called Jet Set Radio is coming out. And I literally saw somebody message, like they must have messaged me during the last podcast, and I checked it in between. And I'm actually super excited. If you've ever heard of Jet Set Radio, it is literally a game where you're on roller skates and you graffiti stuff. But the music gets good and is highly stylized and it's very freeing. And I'm really stoked. So that was a weird, like, oh, there's finally a piece of in between shows news that I can actually say, and I'm stoked about it. Also, been spending way too much money on Switch games because it's Christmas slash birthday slash Black Friday time. Not proud of that. So that's what I've been up to. Chris, do you want to walk us through ranking some Avatar seasons?
All right. So, as you all know, or don't know, whatever, should know. Me and Shawn started this podcast by going through each episode of Avatar and Legend of Korra and rating each episode and splitting that rating up into audiovisual, story, and memorability, and assigning personal weights to those. And we came up with individual scores, and then we average those scores. So we have a very logical, thoughtful average score for each actual an average rating for each episode of The Legend of Korra in Avatar: Last Airbender. And with that knowledge, I then went through and averaged those scores of each season so that we can definitively numerically rank each season of Avatar from worst to best.
Something that was always important to me that I really appreciated that we did it this way. We were both out of 10, right? It was an even total scale, but that we did weight the three properties therein
Hmm.
slightly differently, right? Based on how we watch TV. And I always thought that was a neat thing that we did just to capture our own perspectives in there. So just a fun aside that I like to recall and think about.
Yeah, I had audio visual rate weighted at 35%, story at 50%, memorability at 15%. You had audio visual at 30%, story at 40, and memorability at 30.
Hmm? Yeah, so just captures again the unique ways that different people watch stuff, and I always appreciated that about our approach as well as the rest of our approach. Anyway, yeah, Chris, how do you want to start? How do you want to watch? I have not seen these, so Chris is fully aware. I have guesses because I've had the spreadsheets in my possession, but I've never rolled up the numbers. So
I know. I mentioned in the last episode, but I had a lot of geeky, stupid fun crunching these numbers and stuff and making formulas to add all this stuff up and do the analysis. Like, I want to put this. Do you know what Minitab is?
uh-huh.
It's a statistic. Okay. I had, it might be over now, but in my lean training, green belt training, I had to get a trial of Minitab. I'm like, man, I want to put these numbers in a Minitab, do some analysis on it. That'd be great. Um, but anyway, I had a lot of fun just in this cheap version of Excel.
What's the other one that they always want us to use? It starts with a Q, Minitab, and then lean. Quiz
Mm,
something.
oh,
What's that?
I don't know.
I'll have to Google it later. Just another one, like a statistical software that they use in college business schools and such.
Mhm.
But anyway, awesome. Well, Chris, I'm looking forward to doing like the rankings with you, and then at the end, if you want to share some of the other, we'll put in a what do you call it? We'll put in a bookmark when you can discuss some of the other ways that you sliced and diced up your data.
It was so fun. Uh, I sound like a complete freaking nerd. All right. To get started, so we can kind of set the standard here. The average episode rated across both shows an 8.24 out of 10. 8.25 out of 10.
Okay, that feels right to me. Like all of it, very good television on average. 8.2 out of 10 feels spot on to me.
Yeah. Sorry, real quick. I was wanting to see. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, that's great. Um, the median. Not. I'll get into median stuff later, but just FYI, the median is 8.25. So that means it's a really good uh, sample size.
Didn't you say the
Anyway,
mean was 8.25? The actual average was
yeah,
8.2. Oh,
they
both
both
of them
were.
happen to be. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Perfect.
right?
That is
That doesn't happen, all
yeah,
that
that's
often.
a little surprising in a sample size this large. It's kind of
Hmm.
cool. Okay, good. I feel like that suggests consistency, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
All right, let's get started. Shawn, would you just like to guess what number? So there's 7 seasons. Of course, three seasons of Atla and 4 seasons of Legend of Korra. Would you just like to guess the ranking of number 7, the worst season, if you will.
Yes, I'm gonna guess, but then I'm gonna tell you what I think my second guess is. Right, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm pretty confident it is, and then if I'm wrong, what I think it's gonna be.
Oh, you
So,
know, I could just have you rank them all.
uh, is it more fun for me to do that up front and then for you to walk through one by one? I'm
I
willing
don't
to
know.
I'm willing to do that. Yeah, make me rank them all.
Sure.
Why not? Let's do that. Chris, I think that number 7. Let me write them down so I can kind of keep track of
Okay.
what I'm doing here. I think that number 7 is going to be Korra season 2. So Korra 2. I think number 6 is going to be. This is tough. How about Avatar 1? Give me Avatar
Okay.
1. Number 5, give me Korra. No, because you wouldn't. Your rankings would have. I feel like Korra 4, we had like disparate opinions, so it's tough to say how those weighted. Give me Korra 4 at number 5. At number 4, give me Avatar 2. At number 3, give me Avatar 3. At number 2, give me. Gosh, this is tough. So I'm down to Korra 1 and Korra 3, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for both.
Yeah.
I think that we probably and we didn't do anything. We ranked it. That's what makes this beautiful. I'm gonna say Korra 3 is number 2, and Korra 1 is number 1. Just average episode quality.
Okay.
Weights. All right, and you don't have to tell me if I'm right or wrong until the bitter end.
Yeah. No. We'll wait.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna tell you now. That.
No. I mean just like as I go down, I'm just gonna make little notes here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where I think.
All right. Cool. Okay. Coming in at number 7 with an average episode rating of 7.73 is season 1 of Avatar: Last Airbender.
Okay, that was my 6th choice. Got it. And listen, there's just there's a time and place for season 1, and that is to be the exhibition to a grand magical universe that you're about to get plunged into. And that, like, in hindsight, that comes with some downsides. And that's fine.
Yeah. Also, we should note that the Great Divide is in this season, and also Bato of the Water Tribe is in this season.
2 of our least favorite episodes in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, the minimum episode rating is. Actually, I will just go ahead and go. We got time to fill.
Yeah, I think this is a nice. I think diving one by one is a cool.
Yeah.
Cool split.
So, like I said, the average rating is 7.73 out of 10. The median is 7.82. The minimum or the lowest episode rating was 5.66. I can pull that up. Which one that was? That was The Great Divide. And the maximum episode rating was 9.73. And that was. Must be this one. The Siege of the North. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Siege of the North. All that lines up, not just with memory, but like it makes sense at face value in hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I know it sounds harsh, but like I said, it just when in the time and place you wouldn't feel that way, but when you're looking at everything, when you're binging through it all together, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right. Coming in at number 6, it is. Second. I need to highlight this so my eyes can focus to this area. Coming in at number 6 is Legend of Korra Season 2. I didn't tease that up with the average rating. With an average rating of 7.99 out of 10.
Makes sense. I felt like these were a clear bottom two. I'm a little surprised
They
right with the flip
were.
flop order, but I felt like that was an easy bottom two to narrow down.
So, yeah. So I have a feeling that Beginnings, because I love Beginnings, part 1 and 2. I think those are two fantastic episodes. So that's probably what definitely increased Legend of Korra season 2. So let me go through some of the stats. The average rating 7.99 out of 10. The median rating 7.95. The lowest episode rating was a 6.71, and that was crap, moving too fast.
It's like it made it sound like you're getting
6.71.
motion sick or something. Like, oh, too much data.
Data overload. It's freaking scroll thing. What was that? 6.78. Did I say that? So 6.71. Okay. 6.71. That is episode Night of 1,000 Stars. Yeah, I don't like that episode.
Is that the TV
That's the
one?
one with, yeah, that's one with Bolin
Okay.
and stuff. And like he completely disregards his own brother Mako,
It's kind of a douchey
and,
episode.
and kind of let him rot in jail. So yeah.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool.
And the best episode came in at 9.38 out of 10, and that was I'm just using my, oh, here it is. Darkness Falls, which is the penultimate episode.
Cool.
So that was the episode where
The
Korra loses her
kaiju
connection
fight,
with Rava.
right?
Yeah, like right before that, I think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So like Korra and Unalaq have a pretty good fight, and I think that one probably was really good to me because just the weight of Korra losing Rava.
Makes sense. That's I mean, it's a great episode, but I got to be honest. There's not, for me personally, there's not a ton of super memorable episodes in that,
Hmm?
and the origins episode's probably like one of our greatest sort of disparities of opinion. So it just,
I think so. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
could be,
interesting.
yeah.
All right. Coming in at the third worst season, or ranked number 5, It. Wow, this is surprising. Oh, wrong one. Still, oh crap, even still surprising. Number 5 is coming in at a rating of 8.21 out of 10. It is season 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's surprising that we like that less than season 2, right? I felt, gosh, but it's so hard to separate the two. So maybe I'm even
Yeah, they're really
confused.
close. They're actually really close.
Okay.
Like I looked at the median ranking, and wait, never mind. I don't want to say they're close. Maybe they're not close.
Well, I know, but what I'll predict here, to save you from having to spill actual beans, is that 5, 4, and 3 are going to be close, right? Those are going to be 3 that we
Mm,
probably
yeah,
liked very evenly in terms of median or mean.
yeah,
Sorry, mean episode. Yeah.
yeah. I am surprised that season 3 of Avatar wasn't higher than season 4 of Korra.
I am
Those,
too. Uh, Something that I'm proudly gonna. It's not to. This is not to discredit our ratings or anything. This is just to inflect my personal opinion over top. Is to say, like, if you gave me the choice of the two, like, I would watch Avatar season 3 over Korra season 4 pretty much any day. Like, I
me
would just
too.
pick it. You know what I mean? But again, that's not to
Yeah,
discredit our rankings that we crafted thoughtfully.
yeah.
Is what it is.
All right. So
Cool.
the stats on it, like I said, came in at 8.21 out of 10 on the average rating per episode. The Um, Median rating came at 8.25. The lowest episode was a 6.81 out of 10. And that episode, if I had to guess, is probably the beach because you hate the beach. Um,
But would it have weighed yours down enough, or is there any like fillers in there? Like, surely
uh,
there's one filler that we both dislike to bring that score down.
oh,
Because your beach would have.
it is the headband.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not
Yeah.
an
And
amazing
we were
episode.
really, yeah, we were really close on headband. We were in agreement. I had it at 6.8. You had it at 6.8. So it came out to be 6.81.
There's not a lot of filler in season 3, which is great, or in the whole show for that matter. But the headband feels like it, so
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, not a lot of action in that one. The audio visuals, suffers. Yeah,
It's not great,
yeah. I'm.
but
Uh, the best episode rated a 9.85 out of 10, and that was the finale, Sozin's Comet.
sometimes I still not regret. That is not the right word. I always think about how we rank multiple part episodes, and I always like
It
to think
that
about.
does it for better or for worse. It factors into this
Mm-hmm,
because like the first part of that part four finale, I wouldn't rate that high,
mm-hmm.
but together it's a 9.85 out of 10.
Yeah, and that's a now when you're looking at it, thankfully it's only taking up one slot in your averages, right? It's not like it's
Mhm.
10 out of 10 four times over, so I think that helps make
Correct.
it fair. But in terms of actual TV time, it's like, all right, well, you got
Yeah.
a full movie's worth of time to work with there. So, but anyway, it's great. It's an amazing finale, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's something to
No,
think about, though. Yeah.
I could have rated it based off of minutes or just episode.
Yeah, just like, hey, of course it's a great story. You got a lot of time to tell it in, but they did a great job, and that's all we kind of rated off in the moment.
Yeah. All right. Coming in at number four. All right. Yeah. Number four is with an average rating of 8.27. It is book two of Avatar Last Airbender.
Okay, that makes sense that those would be
Pretty
together.
close together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's really, yeah, those two I feel like are
and
splitting hairs.
if you watch season 3 without season 2 or vice versa, shame on you. Shame.
Yeah.
Treat
It's funny
yourself.
looking at the average rating. So the average rating for um season three of Avatar was 8.27. Season two was 8.21. And then that's like flip flopped with looking at the median. And so they're really close.
Yeah, that. Yep. So it makes perfect sense though that those two are right together.
Yeah. The lowest score was a 7.39, which is actually it's interesting. The lowest score is a 7.39, but that is the highest lowest score of any season, if that made sense what I just said.
The highest low. It has the least bad worst episode.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And that episode was the scrolling feature on here. That episode was The Swamp.
Okay. Chris, hitting the personal opinion. If I just told you, hey, you've got you've got 5 hours. Do you want to watch season 3 or season 2 of Avatar? What would you pick?
Ooh, man.
I
Hmm.
don't know how many hours you
Hmm.
actually need, but that's just you got
I know,
time to watch
right?
one season.
Well, you can fit three episodes into 1 hour. So then that's close to five. That's 15.
Yeah, something
Probably
like that.
six.
6 7 hours.
Yeah. Man, okay. Hmm. Probably season three.
Okay. So it's a little bit flip flop
Yeah.
then, because I would also say season 3. But
Okay.
I think just man, we don't get a lot of great in TV shows. Uh, I'm not gonna bother. There's a lot of TV shows where I'm like, man, that last season didn't do it for me. It didn't close things up like I wanted. Dramas, comedies, whatever. This is an amazing final season. So it might just be the idea of like that's where my heart knows all the good closure is.
Yeah.
But at any rate,
All right. The the highest scoring episode in season 2 of Avatar was a 9.35, and that was by don't do that. Where am I at? 9.35. Lake Lao Guy. Love Lake Lao Guy.
yeah, real solid episode.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Interesting. That's um. We went over all. There's no more.
No,
Yeah.
no
There's
more Avatar.
no more Avatar left. Sorry, folks. Hope you keep listening. Um, coming in at number 3 with an average episode rating of 8.5 out of 10. It is Legend of Korra season 4.
uh, good, makes sense. I'll repeat what I said earlier. Like, if in a nutshell, my heart would want to watch season 3 of Avatar more than season 4 of Korra. But
I
that's
would
just that
too.
kind of
That's interesting.
hindsight, that
Yeah,
hindsight subjectivity, an unsubstantiated claim on my part.
yeah. Um, looking at the ratings, at the further analysis, the like I said before, average rating 8.5 out of 10. The median rating 8.4. The minimum episode, the lowest episode score was a 7.06 out of 10, and that episode probably probably after all these no not after all these years. Oh, it's the oh no, here it is. Reunion. We rank Remembrances higher than Reunion. But
Yeah, and go back and watch those episodes. Those are fun ones to talk about. But it's just sort of a level of respect for what Remembrances had to
Remembrances
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might
Um,
have overshot Remembrances a little bit looking at
I mean,
these. But I think we were I think both of us might have overshot a
I
little
wouldn't
bit.
want to. I wouldn't pick either. Like if you just told me those are both the worst episode, that's that season's Bato and Great Divide. I would say yeah.
Well, Remembrances is a 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean that feels steep to me.
So it's, so it's average. Yeah.
Um, we're feeling sympathetic. That's fine.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right.
It's too
Number
late.
coming in at
The
number
numbers have been cast, Chris.
too late.
It's too
We
late.
did this. These numbers have been locked for over a year now. I think was the
Yeah.
last time
No
we
no
rated an
takesies
episode.
backsies,
Yeah.
which is the
Coming
saddest thing.
in at number 2.
All right, so let me rehash. I think I said that season 3 of Korra was going to be number 2, and season 1 of Korra was going to be number 1. That was my guess, just to rehash.
You are correct. Yes, you said. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you are correct. I'm saying
That was
you
my yeah,
are
right.
right in your guess.
Got it.
Um,
Cool.
turns out, Shawn, you
Are the
were
father.
not correct.
Oh, I had him flip flopped. Well, I'm just happy to be invited.
So coming in with an average episode rating of 8.53 out of 10, it is Legend of Korra season 1 as the second best season of Avatar.
It's a great season of television. Uh,
Honestly, it is great. Like,
there's you can tell me what the bad episode, quote unquote, from that season is, and I'm gonna be like, no, no, it
I don't
ain't.
know. So the going through the interesting here. Okay, the average 8.53, median 8.76. That's probably has the widest difference between the median and the average. That's interesting.
I wonder
Um,
what. Can you explain? Because my brain can't comprehend that right now. What does that suggest?
that that there's more um that there's more the word coming to my head is spontaneity, but there's a wider range, probably more outliers.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah. There's more outliers when that number isn't as close together.
Okay.
So like there could be a
It's like
really
less
really great
precise. It's a
episode.
bigger spread, or
Yeah,
but that almost feels
it's
backwards because
often
all these episodes. Maybe I mean I guess the way we scored them is what's more important. But it feels like there's no episodes like oh that one's so bad, but it could just be a bunch of like right on the average and then one or two that we ranked perfectly or
yeah,
something like that.
could be.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you.
The lowest rated episode was a 6.81, and I'm looking at season one.
What?
Okay. Oh, there's one in there that I hate.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I believe you. I'm probably just forgetting it.
It's
Um,
the one. It's bitter competition. I'm pretty sure. Spirit of competition. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's the spirit of competition. That's the one where like they get really love triangle-y. And I think that's the one that Korra breaks Bolin's heart.
oh, you're right. Okay, I'm with you. That's a dumb one. And it's,
Yeah,
yep, I gotcha. I'm glad you reminded me that was in there. I was having my visions skewed.
but man, like that one is.
That is a
That
big
one
outlier. That
is an
explains
out. It is a huge outlier.
your mean
Yeah,
median comment. Makes much more sense to me now.
because like Legend of Korra season one goes 8.2, 7.4. So the 7.4 anyway, 8.3, 8.8. Then the 6.8, 8.8, 8.6, 8.8, 8.9, 8.8, 9, 9.8. Yeah, that's a huge outlier.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah,
stats.
it's wild. They really took a wild turn on that episode, and it cost them
Yeah,
in our very official
it
scientific
did.
rankings.
Yeah,
It did cost them the top
I'm
spot, Chris. That's what it did.
I'm stupidly loving these last episodes. I mean, I love any time we record, but I think just working in Excel
It kind of feels
and
good.
doing stats
It feels
on
good
these
to
things.
be playing around in Excel, but for fun things.
Yeah. Okay. So that means coming in number one, no surprise to me, because I think even before this, I would have guessed this. The official most, what word did I say before? It wasn't calculated. It was
Uh,
something.
theoretical, fact
Num-
based.
yes. The most numerical, theoretical, fact-based season of Avatar is Legend of Korra season 3 with an average episode rating of 8.66 out of 10. The median rating was 8.45 out of 10, so also a pretty wide difference there. The lowest episode was a 7.24 out of 10, and that episode was it was the original Airbenders,
Okay.
which wasn't
Which is a good
terrible, but
episode still. I mean, we probably didn't love it, obviously, or it wouldn't be here.
yeah. And then the best was a 10. So like this is the only season with sorry, this isn't the only season with tens. Um,
But with a
this listen,
10 across the board, or is this the only season that had multiple 10s, Chris?
yeah. So this season had multiple tens. Enter the Void was a 10, and Venom of the Red Lotus was a 10. And see, so this is where us combining episodes probably comes into factor because Avatar, Sozin's Comet part individual parts probably would have got one of those would have gotten a 10, um, but they didn't. But
Yeah, maybe
the
two of them or
ultimatum,
whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I think probably two. But the ultimatum and Enter the Void. I'm sorry, the not ultimate, they Enter the Void and Venom of the Red Lotus both got a 10. really driving that high score there.
And shorter seasons too. Am I thinking of that right? Just season 3
He's
of
all
Korra.
he's both. So that's the thing with Legend of Korra is that they do have lower episodes. So I thought about that.
Hmm?
So we'll go into some other deeper
No,
analysis.
do you mind if I make a small prediction here? Right.
Go ahead.
It just the notion that we are talking shorter season, and we had multiple tens episodes. It's like, all right, they're not really together, right? So,
Mhm.
but I think that even I think when if you take it at like an episode quality, like a quality per episode, that 3 will probably still be the best. But I do think that it would level out like 4 and 1, and then ATLA 2 and 3 would be in like a closer bundle,
Hmm.
I think.
Interesting. Okay. I don't think I looked at from that angle.
I'm trying to decide
I
even
did
how I
look.
would quantify, like, what did you do with every episode that you had? Oh, that's tough, though.
Yeah. So I keep thinking on that. I also went and looked at. All right, let me look at what number of episodes was below a 7, what were below 7.5, what were below an 8, what were below an 8.5, were below 9, and 9.5 were above. Um, and then I went and said, all right, what percent of episodes were? Dang it, I still didn't do it. Were a it is okay. What percent of episodes of each season were below 7.5 or 7.5 or below, and what percent were 9 and up? So it's really interesting looking at it. Looking at that, so like season one of season one of I'll go in order of the seasons. So 7, the one I'm about to state now is percent below 7.5%, below or equal to 7.5. Right? Do that right? Yeah.
It's harder to hear than it is to to see on a sheet, right? I'm struggling to,
Yeah. I should have shared this with you. I guess I did.
because then
Anyway,
no, it was a big reveal this way
yeah.
that I liked.
So 41% of episodes in season one of I'm going in order of all the seasons. Season one of Avatar, 41% were lower than 7.5. 5% in season two were lower than 7.5. And then 12.5 for season three of I'm sorry, 12.5 for book three of Avatar, 17. How? Book two was 41%. Book three was 7.7%. And then book four of Korra was 15.4% below 7.5. So then on the flip side of that, so episode percent of episodes 9 that rated 9 or above. We'll just go in order of the seasons. Uh, Atlas season one, 6%. So only 6% of episodes were above a 9. Atlas season two, 15%. Atlas season three, 13%. Korra season one, 8.3%. Korra season two is so shocking. Korra season two, 25%. Wow, interesting. Korra season three, 31%, and Korra season four, 31%. So do with those numbers what you will. That's funny. Season two of Korra has like really high highs or really low lows.
That's a little surprising in its own right, isn't it? Maybe it's not. Let me think about.
It's pretty much saying like 5 episodes of season two of Korra was terrible.
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
5 for
Oh,
great.
that's not. Yeah. No, you're right. That makes sense. It felt high for a second, but and then even then terrible. Of course, all things relative. All things relative. Um, Chris, what were your? Oh, sorry. Any additional big takeaways that you identified that were surprising or not surprising to you?
Um, no, I think I went over all of them.
Excellent. Great analysis. I appreciate it. Would you? Do we want to? I still like the the balancing the subjective against the objective. Do I want to do another episode sometime of just hit me with the nostalgic favorites or even worse, like no reasoning whatsoever. You
Ooh, okay.
just order it there again. It's just that question of you got 5 hours. Which season are you popping in what order? Like we'll rank them that way. Just hit the gut, the no logic whatsoever.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
throw that
completely
out. We'll
fine
make
with
that
that.
a different episode someday when we're feeling feelsy, feeling feeling the need to have like emotions and stuff. Um,
Oh yeah,
I think I'm not terribly surprised after you say it all. There's a few things that, like I did not remember that episode of book one.
yeah.
Uh, but
Spirit of
likewise,
competition.
I could have just as easily. So for a second, I was like, oh man, that would have changed. I would have flipped my ranking. But I could have just as easily been forgetting a bad episode from season three. So that kind of makes sense. The buckets make sense to me, right? That two, Korra 2 and Avatar 1, and then Korra 4, Avatar 2 and 3 in kind of a bucket, and then Korra 3 and 1 being in a bucket. Those make sense to me in hindsight. That feels right in terms of just kind of rating quality. Um, so even the things that were surprising as you revealed them got less surprising as I was like, oh yeah, that lines up.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Just like man, 41% of the episodes in season one are 7.5 or below. It's kind of crazy.
That yeah, it's just kind of that's very surprising. But
All right, below 7.5.
yeah, that's that many that low.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, great. Hey, thanks for the analysis, man. I appreciate the legwork. Final thoughts. Final. My
I love
microphone's
doing
still working. That's
analysis.
pretty exciting.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I'm
great.
not going back over.
We would have
But
been
yeah,
much
I
more
was at my
thorough
kitchen
this time
table.
around.
I was at my kitchen table, just like, oh, this is interesting. Like my son had to go. I usually put my son down to bed at 8:30. My youngest one. But like I was so into it. It was like 9 o'clock. I was like, oh, it's time for you to go to bed.
And he's like, "Daddy, I'm helping you do analysis."
Yeah. No,
Um,
no, no. You didn't do that formula right. The formula.
the,
Formula. I don't know.
don't you backtalk me, kid. I've been doing formulas since before you were born.
I've been doing formula since you were on formula. Get out of here.
When you talk trash to your kids. Oh, that's fantastic. Um. Oh, hey, yeah. Thanks again for the analysis. Audience, listeners, watchers, let us know how you feel. But keeping in mind that we really tried to take this at an episode by episode basis, and that again, I think it'll be fun to tackle it on a just a highly sentimental basis, and a different episode will be fun. Maybe
Yeah.
in the new year, pretty well stacked up in between now and the new year. Speaking of which, come back next week. Next week we'll have a touchy-feely holiday episode. Not that sentimental, but more sentimental holiday episode, holiday themed. In the meantime, thanks for watching and listening. If you can spare us any likes, positive reviews, hit the little bell, comments, whatever. We love comments. Right? We don't say enough about the comments, and we get comments, and we really appreciate that. Thank you. We appreciate it all, though, and I'll put the information down in the description. In the meantime, my name's Shawn Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, a.k.a. the objective, highly statistically, analytically inclined geek. It fits together. That's his full name, actually. You didn't know those were his middle names. His His mother knew he was going to be into math. And tune in next week. We'll see you next time. I never know whether or not I'm supposed to wait on you to wave or not. Is he going to wave?
Yeah, I didn't even wave last time.
He
I don't think I
always
waved last
does
time.
if I wait long enough. I just wonder how long I got to stare at the camera before he waves, you know? That's how I can look a while.